Welcome to the Prep Recruiting Insider, Season 3 already. We're pleased to be back at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale, Louisiana for a second consecutive season with karting, autocross, racing, training. It's a place for all things in motorsports. And we got plenty of big news later in the show about a big event that's going to happen here in 2015. I'm Rick Ailey, the coach of PRI, Prep Recruiting Insider, and I'm pleased to be working with Renee Nato, the Prep Recruiting Insider. This is your third year, Renee. A lot of this is your baby. First, thank you for having me with you for this entire season, I hope.
I'm honored, Rick. I'm honored, buddy. It's going to be a great job. And we have a lot of fun this year and talking about recruiting in your wheelhouse, something that you know a lot about. And this year, it may not have as many 5-star players and 4-star players like last year, Coach, but the thing is, there's a lot of talent. It's very deep this year, and we're going to talk about the next 25 weeks, how much talent is in this area for recruiting.
And that's what Prep Recruiting Insider is all about. Content, content, content. No fluff, no frills, no other nonsense. We cut right to the chase, and the very first thing we're going to do, Renee, is go over our top 25 list of recruits that this year has 26 players, going back to you talking about the depth. And the first person we have is a wide receiver out of St. Paul, Jalen McCleskey.
Jalen McCleskey, 5'9", 165, 4'4", 540. He has offers from Air Force, Oklahoma State, South Florida, and Southern Miss. He had 44 grabs last year, 6 scoring for touchdowns, very high football IQ. He'll be a good one, Rick.
And the next player at number 25, a safety out of St. Aug, Theron Williams.
Theron Williams, a Louisiana Tech commit, 5'10", 180. He makes those bobblehead tackles when he hits the guy pretty hard. 4'5" guy. He only played in 4 games last year, Coach, because of injuries, but he had 42 tackles, interception against Covington. He'll be a good one.
And number 24, defensive tackle out of Rummel, Tyrell Jacobs.
He'll be a big one and a good one. 6'4", 260, good at the point of attack, good first step, great motor. Right now, he's committed to Oklahoma, but a lot of schools are not giving up on him. Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Tennessee, among others. Oklahoma State, I should say, Arizona State, California. He sheds the blocker. He'll gain a little weight. He'll play at about 275, 280.
And number 23 from Destrehan, safety Brandon Scott.
He'll be on with us today. Iowa State, UCLA, Arkansas, Georgia Tech are among his suitors. 6'1", 185, safety, very athletic. Texas Tech is gaining some ground, and I think they're going to make a play for the guy who plays sideline to sideline from his safety spot.
And the Destrehan theme will come up more than one time. At number 22, wide receiver out of Hornville, Ricky Preston.
Ricky Preston we'll have on next week. 6'1", 200 pounds, 4'6", 40, unbelievably strong. He has that it factor, which you can understand. Nebraska, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Florida State are among his suitors.
And number 21, safety from Landry Walker, Kendall Harrison.
He's already going. Arizona State has offered him physical, roams at center field as a safety, 6'2", 180. He'll be a good one.
At number 20, another Destrehan wide receiver, Alfred Smith.
5'10", 185, committed to Arizona State, but he may be looking at Nebraska. Game changer as a return specialist and wide receiver. He has the ability to make the big play, good routes.
And a defensive tackle from Landry Walker at number 19, George Lee.
6'3", 275, offers from Arizona State, Kansas State, Utah, Southern Miss, and Washington State. 110% effort, nonstop motor, very great athleticism.
At 18, Edna Carr, defensive end, Isaiah Washington.
He's already pledged to the LSU Tigers, 6'5", 260. He may be better than his predecessors, Gerald Willis, who went to Florida, and Joyon Williams went to Oklahoma State. That says a lot. He runs exceptionally well, uses his hands very well, very disciplined defensive tackle.
At 17, Mandeville fullback, David Ducray.
Called the best fullback in the country, an LSU pledge right now. He had 812 yards, 18 touchdowns last year, 5'11", 238, great leg drive, very physical, yards after contact.
Our first quarterback, Christian Campbell out of Ponchatoula.
And he's heading to Georgia Tech right now. What an athlete. Let me tell you how good he is, Coach. He ran as a sophomore in the state hurdles. He qualified. And former coach Hank Tierney compares him to Ronald Bellamy, who played at Shaw, went to the NFL. And he says he's also similar to Mickey Joseph, except bigger, 4'4", 740. He did a great job at Mississippi State camp. The recruiting may not be over.
Another quarterback from Helen Cox at 15, Deion Ray.
Deion Ray, and the ULL pledge 4.3840. Is just a very skilled option quarterback, a good passer as well.
At number 14, defensive end Joe Anderson from Riverdale.
8.5 sacks last year for the 6'4", 245-pounder who has 4.5 speed, 485-pound squat, a little freakish. They think he's a little bit like a Kiki Mingo. He can go anywhere. LSU very interested, but has offers from Tennessee, Florida, among others.
13, outside linebacker Bo Wallace from Curtis.
6'3.5", 215, transfer from Richmond, Texas to Curtis. Tremendous athlete, athleticism, comes off the edge very hard, 9.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks last year. He'll have a big year in 2014.
12, defensive end Reggie Walker from Ponchatoula.
He's a tweener, had 83 stops last year, 20 tackles. He's 6'2", 229, one of the best pass rushers you'll see around here. Arkansas and Florida have offered. He did a great job at the Alabama camp. He's also a great basketball player, baseball first baseman, a good athlete.
Number 11, cornerback Deshaun Capers-Smith from Warren Easton.
He's headed to Texas A&M, Boise State, Missouri, Louisiana Tech, all really like him. Great hips, great break of the ball, has played some quarterback. He'll play safety or cornerback at the next level. He is a playmaker, very, very fluid, and a great baseball player, Coach.
And at safety, number 10, Hunter Dale from Curtis.
Well, a lot of schools are looking at him, but I think Florida may be the eventual winner. Louisville, Penn State, Miami, and Arizona State among some of his suitors. He had 8 interceptions last year, 13 career interceptions for John Curtis. Tremendous football IQ, very good ball awareness. He can get everybody lined up on defense for the Patriots.
And we have Arthur McGinnis, an outside linebacker from Warren Easton.
Rick, what a guy he is. A machine. 110 tackles last year, 14 sacks, 32 tackles for loss. 6'2", 225, comes off the edge as an outside linebacker. He is a chiseled player. It may come down to Texas A&M, UCLA battle for him, but a lot of people like Arthur McGinnis.
Cornerback Deshaun Raymond from East Jefferson at 8.
He's so sweet, Rick, they call him Candy. He had 3 picks last year, leading East Jefferson to the state title. LSU may be at the top, Arkansas, Houston, TCU, Nebraska among those. He also is a great 400-meter runner and a big-time hitter.
Number 7, wide receiver Stanley Morgan from St. Aug.
His top right now, UCLA, Florida, Tulane, Nebraska, and Clemson. They calling him maybe the best wide receiver ever to come out of St. Aug, and that's a mouthful. 83 grabs, 1,087 yards, 13 touchdowns last year. Great separation, Velcro hands, runs good routes.
And a big wide receiver from Holy Cross, Michael Chigbu at 6.
He could play in the NFL with this size, Rick. 6'2", 215. He is committed to Georgia, and last year, 48 catches, 785 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's only been playing football since his sophomore year, so he's barely scratched the surface.
At number 5, running back Kendall Bussey from Newman.
He's going to Nebraska, but also it may not be over as well. He's got great speed, 4.38 40, 5'9.5", 206-pound running back, 365-pound bench press, over 500-pound squat. Great acceleration. He's at full speed at the second step. Great grades, 3.5 grade point average.
Great athlete from Riverdale at number 4, cornerback wide receiver Dante Jackson.
And he's special, 4'2", 540, 10, 4, 200. He's a game changer on either side of the ball. LSU, Oregon, and Georgia may be among the top. He wants to play on both sides of the ball. He had a great showing up in Oregon at the Nike camp. Very explosive, and maybe you haven't seen his best yet. He is an outstanding athlete.
Coming into the top 3, cornerback Xavier Lewis from East St. John.
LSU commitment, Rick. He's been being chased by A&M in Texas. A shutdown cornerback, great ball skills, super athletic, very, very confident.
At number 2, Kurt Merritt from Destrehan, a wide receiver.
And we'll see him just a little bit. He's got a lot of schools we'll talk about where he may be going, but what a great showing he had at the Spark National Championship up in Beaverton, Oregon, Nike camp. 45-inch vertical. He runs at 10.500. Great hands. He'll be a wide receiver. He reminds me a lot of Jarvis Landry. Very tough, hard worker. Does all the little things. He loves blocking. 5'11", 206. What an athlete.
And at the top of the list, Tyron Johnson from Warren Easton.
And he's like an ATM machine. He's always open and pays off. He's 6'1", 190, super fluid. He's the number 1 wide receiver in the country, Rick. Super athletic, great hands, very smooth, game changer. Reminds me a lot of Odell Beckham, athletic-wise.
Here we go. From NOLA Sports Park, that's the top 26. in the beginning of the year. It's going to change as we go through the season because performance is number one. Once again, the place for speed and the place to do it. NOLA Motorsports Park, we're here in the kart shed here at NOLA Motorsports. What an incredible place this is. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. Coach Rick Gailey here with the Prep Recruiting Insider himself, Renee Nadeau, here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Just an exceptional facility here in Avondale, right between the Olario Center and TPC of Louisiana. And it's my pleasure to bring to you this opening week, Jamboree week of the season, Coach Steve Robichaux of the Destrehan High Wildcats. Thank you, Steve, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. On the first show that I'm on, for you to be on the show, I appreciate you taking the time out to be with us.
It's an honor to be here for you, Rick, because you're truly a great coach and a great inspiration to all of us, so appreciate being here.
Well, thank you very much. You're in a unique situation. You're going into your 23rd year. You were 10 years as a head coach, and then you took what I call a 2-year sabbatical. Got to go see your daughter over at St. Charles Catholic, which is a rare treat to be able to do as a father in the coaching profession. And both of us have some involvement with a good friend of ours, Frank Monica, over at St. Charles Catholic. I worked with Frank at Tulane, and you know him very well. Tell me, what did you learn during those 2 years that you were on sabbatical that you're using now in your Fighting Wildcat football program?
Well, probably the biggest thing that I took from that was the way you handle referees, you know, because he's so mild-mannered and calm, and it just really kind of allowed me to kind of say, you know, we need to look at what we're really doing out here. But no, I tell you what, I think Coach Monica is one of the, if not the best, one of the best coaches in the area. He truly does a great job. Year in, year out, his team's always good. So for me to be able to sit back, watch him, every now and then I get a little nab from my wife, said, hey, your daughter's cheering over here. But just to kind of sit back and watch him do what he does and the way he handles players and the way he controls the game was truly a great 2 years for me to be able to watch him do that.
We're going to jump right for the jugular vein, Steve.
All right.
2007, 2008, you guys had a couple of state titles. How can this team, because it's loaded, how can this team compare? Do they compare favorably for those 2007, 2008 teams? Jericho Nelson, Joan Jefferson, Damaris Johnson, any similarities?
Well, you know, obviously, you know, the reason I'm here is because we got great players. We're real fortunate this year to have some pretty good players. The big question mark, and everybody's asking that, we're kind of waiting to see also is how our quarterback play is going to end up, you know, because we're going to start a sophomore quarterback, Marquise Dansberg. Done a great job so far for us. He was 15 of 18 in the scrimmage against Salmon, but you know, we got to see how he progresses. Coach Greg Barn, the offense coordinator, has done an unbelievable job with him. He's got a lot of weapons around him, and as he goes, I think we got a chance to win a few ball games.
That's right, Steve. One of the things that we know in the coaching profession is that there's constant change, and great coaches stay within their philosophy, but they adapt to whatever is going on at that particular time. The off-season program especially has changed dramatically since you played, since I started coaching way back in the day. Talk about what y'all have to do in the off-season as soon as the previous football season is over, really, to get ready for the next one.
Well, I don't know if you can call it an off-season anymore, because I mean it's really time-consuming. You know, back in the day when we played, you know, you went out for spring training, you might have had 10 days or so, and then you you went out in the summer and went maybe 2-3 times a week. But now it's just got so involved. You know, we start in January, we start after school, get the kids to study hall, start working them out. Leads into spring, and then the summer has just been crazy. You know, it's 3 hours a day, 4 days a week. Now 7-on-7, media wants to cover 7-on-7, and it's just taking it to a whole nother level. So I truly don't believe there's any off season anymore. It just kind of runs into each other.
You talked a little bit about Frank Monica and kind of watching, but what coaches have influenced you and kind of shaped you the way you are as a coach?
Well, I think obviously when you think about those guys that really influenced you was your high school coaches. I thought Danny Roussel was a big influence in my life and one of the reasons why we're here. But you know, you look around with the guys sitting right next to us, those guys that have so much respect for, that has programs, that taking programs to a new level, like Rick at St. James, You know, Frank, wherever he's been successful. You know, Stubbs, guys that do a great job. You know, I used to consider myself a younger coach, but you know, we're kind of getting up there, so everybody's at the same level now. But you know, to be able to sit back, watch those guys do what they do, see how they handle kids, and the way they coach football. And you know, and I'm gonna tell you what, the greatest guy in my life, as far as my own personal coaching philosophy, is Chipper Simon. I mean, Chipper Simon, you know, he just took things to a new level, and then, you know, he developed a heck of a program at Destrehan High School, and that's all I ever want to do, is to kind of keep that program going. And I guarantee you, I talk to Chipper 2-3 times a week, and just, you know, he knows what not to say and what to say, and I tell you what, I respect him for that, and you know, everything that, you know, Tim Rebo, Scott Martin, I mean, it's just been some good guys in front of us that really, you know, just trying to take that program and keep it there, and just hoping we continue to do so.
Yeah, we got about a minute left in this part of the segment, Steve. Something else that's changed dramatically is the recruiting process. That has changed so very much, because there's so many other people. Before, it used to just be the high school and then the recruiting schools, and now there's so many outside people trying to get involved in the coaching process. Talk about how that's changed.
Well, you're absolutely right. You know, before it was just you talking to the head coach from the state schools and for the colleges, and you know, they were always contacting you. Now you're kind of out of the picture. You know, it's kind of, you know, the guys, the assistant coaches are contacting your kids, or not ages, but the recruiting process of recruiting people all the time, or talking to your kids. Just every person that wants to be involved with the kids are now trying to get involved. So it kind of taking the head coach out of it. It's kind of a situation at Destrehan where we talk about all the time now is, hey, we'll help you in any way you want. You let us know. But as far as we're concerned, it's your decision. You need to make that decision. But there's so many influences, it just makes it so tough. So it's a tough deal for us now.
Yes, it is. Well, Steve, I want to thank you once again so very much for being here, not only on PRI, but the fact that this is the first show that I'm on. I've thought so much of the Destrehan program for so many years, going back to Chipper Simon and meeting with them and talking wing tee stuff. That's why Rondell Mealy's grown into a fullback now.
I wouldn't stand in front of him, though. I tell you.
That's exactly right. We're here at NOLA Motorsports Park, 640 acres of karting, motocrossing, everything to do with motorsports. What a great place this is. I'll go anywhere in the world to ride a roller coaster, and this place excites me for being here. We will be right back with more Prep Recruiting Insider. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. I'm Coach Rick Gailey with the Prep Recruiting Insider, the guru of prep recruiting, Renee Nato, and it's our pleasure here at NOLA Motorsports Park. What a great facility we have here. Hope you get an opportunity to Google it up, get to Google Maps even, and get the satellite view to see how vast this facility is. It is unbelievable. We have two terrific athletes from Destrehan. To the left of Renee, number 40, safety Brandon Scott of Destrehan, with his game face on. He's always ready to play. And number 1, wide receiver Alfred Smith, two of the great fighting Wildcats. And fellas, I'm going to ask you some questions that are going to be from a little different angle. It's going to be more like I'm the recruiting coach and you're the athlete. So you get to practice what you're going to do through the recruiting process. And we will start with Brandon first. Tell us why at Coach Rick Gailey University I want to be able to recruit you.
You know, I'm fast, physical. You know, I read plays easily, so I can make a play, you know, matter of second. You know, you throw the ball on me, I could go ahead and get it, you know. I'll get from this sideline to that sideline, you know, easy. And, you know, I've been playing safety since I was 9. So, you know, I you know, it's group, you know, on me, and it's been a part of me since I was little, so.
Very good. Great answers. Alfred?
I'm a great player, very physical. I used to play running back when I was young, so when I catch the ball, there's nothing to make a move and, you know, get in open space and run. So, I mean, I love playing football, so, and plus I'm a great student in class, so I'd be a great, you know, athlete for your school.
Alfred is committed to Arizona State right now, and I'm going to start with you, Alfred. Why Arizona State? What did you like about it? And how was the recruiting process? How did you narrow it down to Arizona State?
Well, first of all, the program at Arizona State is very good. You know, they model their kids after Pat Tillman. He was a great athlete, and I like that a lot. So, but the recruiting process was very tough. I mean, it's hard, and a lot of colleges coming at you trying to recruit you. So you just have to stay positive and stay humble throughout the whole process.
Brandon, let me ask you, there's some schools right now looking at you. What are some of the schools, and do you have any official visits coming up? Mention some of the schools that you're looking at right now.
Texas Tech, UCLA, Georgia Tech. That's about it right now.
Now, do you have any official visits, and what are you looking for in a school? What's going to be the good fit for you?
I just want a school that's going to help me with my schoolwork, you know, and, you know, they're not going to let me, you know, just play football for them and not worry about me, you know, getting a good education.
Now, do you have any visits coming up?
Texas Tech.
Okay.
Excellent. What kind of defense, what style of play, what style of defense suits you the best for what you do?
Well, I grew up in cover 3, Tennessee mainly. And I like that because, you know, I get to look around the whole field. So, you know, I can see number 1, number 2, number 3 receiver. It's not like I'm playing strong and I'm just on one side of the field. I can see the whole field. And so I just like that. And I'm able to make plays faster there. You know, I just like it.
You don't mind running the alley, do you?
No.
So that when the force man forces the player to cut back inside, you will cap the pile, won't you?
Oh, yeah, I got that.
That's great. That's great. And Alfred, being a receiver is more than running fast and catching the ball. There's a lot of other skills that are necessary. Talk about what style of play, whether that's a factor in what college you're going to, and what style of offense you like to play in.
Well, the spread, of course. I mean, you know, teams that's throwing the ball a lot more. So, you know, but just I know they have the skills in running, you know, catching the ball, but it's really concentration. You know, you need to look the ball in and be able to catch the rock and run. It's a lot to it than just running routes.
Now, I want to ask you, I asked Coach Steve Robichaux this. He probably wants to strangle me for asking you this. But 2007, 2008, they ran the table, a couple of state championships. Why is this team, in your eyes, Alfred first, can this be special? Can you reach the level at that 2007, 2008? Why is this team in the same category?
Hard work. We put in a lot of hard work, and we have a lot of guys that's skilled as them, and a lot of experience. So, you know, we really correlate a lot to them, and really it's just hard work, and we worked hard just like them.
Now, do you see that those 2007, 2008? Do y'all keep an eye on that kind of like?
Yeah, we really do.
Ran the same reason. Why can the defense be special? And because the defense wins games, why can that be in the same category as those state championship teams?
I feel like we had guys from last year that left marks on us, you know, to be leaders, you know, to be great players, you know, and to be working hard in the weight room. So I feel like that just carried on, and just Malcolm Dansbury, Ray John, they both were good players. So I want to do it for them. If they didn't get it, I'm going to get it for them.
And both of y'all, starting with Brandon first, when you were a real little kid,
Yeah.
okay, all of us had favorite teams, favorite players, and sometimes it went with opposition, sometimes it didn't. What teams were your favorite teams when you were young, and did you have a favorite player that you tried to model yourself after?
When I grew up, actually the first time I watched football was when I was like 12. So I started playing football because people in school, they played it. So my friends do it, I'm going to do it. So my first time watching football, I watched Ohio State, and that was my favorite team. And I like Ted Ginn Jr.
Excellent. Alfred?
I've been playing football since I was young. My favorite team coming up was the Florida Gators. I like watching Tim Tebow, and I like the USC, Reggie Bush. I still to this day want to be like Reggie Bush. So that's like one of the teams I like. But I like the 49ers also.
Now, let me ask you, Alfred, first, what are you thinking about major, and what is your goals 4 or 5 years from now when you leave Destrehan? What would you like to major in, and what is your ultimate goal? Last minute.
I want to major in engineering. I want to be an airplane technician. My biggest goal from 4 years from now is to be successful, you know. I don't want to, you know, go to school and not get the education that's provided, you know. I want to go and do something positive.
I want to major in electrical engineering. And I'm working on my math classes right now. I'm working hard in math class. I'm also working hard in my science classes to, you know, advance to college. You know, it'll be easy for me to click from. So, you know, I got people I work with. I got a tutor now set up for my senior year. So that everything goes smooth for me when I get to college. So, yeah.
Outstanding. Well, thank you two very much for being here today, getting PRI off to a great start. Brandon Scott, Alfred Smith. We're here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Thanks for being here. Both of you, I appreciate it. So this is my first time, okay? And I appreciate Destrehan being here and being such a large part of PRI. We will be right back after this short break. Welcome back to PRI, Prep Recruiting Insider, here at NOLA Motorsports Park. We're back here in the kart shed right next to the go-kart track. What a fantastic facility we have here. And we're very fortunate with me, the coach, Rick Gailey, recruiting insider Renee Nato, to have two more terrific Destrehan players. We have Will Matthews, running back number 29, and 33 wide receiver Kurt Merritt. Welcome, guys, to Prep Recruiting Insider. It's a pleasure having you all here today.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to talk to you as if I'm the recruiting coach, and we're going to have a dialogue back and forth. I would normally tell you what our university is going to offer you. Well, we're here at Coach, getting ready to be recruited by Coach Rick University. And so first of all, Will, tell me the qualities that you have that would make me want to recruit you to my university.
I just think that I'm a hard worker. I feel as though I'm a leader, so I get on people to make them better. I have a good work ethic, my speed and my power. I use both of those while I'm running. And whatever the coach says, I get it done.
Very, very good. Kurt, same question. Tell us about yourself.
I'm humble. I work hard all the time, and work hard in the classroom, get my classwork done, and I'll do anything just to get the job done.
I tell you what, Kurt blew the roof off in Beaverton, Oregon this past summer. I know he's grinning a little bit, but at the Spark, he won the Spark Challenge at Nike Camp, 45-inch vertical, 4.45.40. Tell us a little bit about how that competition was. He's the third player from this area. Speedy Noel won it last year. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, Landon Collins won it. So how was that competition? Why was it special? And did you enjoy that whole experience?
Oh yeah, of course I enjoyed it. It was a great experience, just going against the best of the best in the country. But it was a great experience going against the best. And I worked very hard in the off season with my trainer and Destrehan, so it was great.
In the recruiting process, Kurt, where are you right now? What schools are you looking at? You have some official visits coming, unofficial, and tell a little bit about the audience, what you're looking at right now.
Right now I'm looking at Oregon, A&M, Auburn, LSU, Alabama, and UCLA.
Okay.
And I scheduled my official at Oregon on November 1st against Stanford.
Okay. And Will, whole process with you. Where are you right now? Kent State, Purdue, a few other schools are looking. What are you looking for in a team that's going to fit your skills? And what schools right now are you looking at?
Well, in a team for the schools that are looking at me, I'm just looking for just a family base, good relationship with the coaches, nice depth chart, the class that's coming in, that the whole class is good. And the schools that's looking at me right now would be Kent State, Georgia Tech, Purdue, Northwestern, McNeese, and Stephen F. Austin.
Style of play sometimes is a determining factor in selecting a school. Both y'all play in a spread type of offense, been highly successful at Destrehan, but there's some alternatives out there as well. With you as a running back, Will, what type of offensive attack would you think about playing for in college?
Since we play the spread at Destrehan, I'm really comfortable with that, but I wouldn't mind playing the I formation. I like that.
As long as you had like a fullback in front of you that was the size of a house, right?
Right.
That could knock people over. Kurt, we know you would like to be in a spread offense or in an offense at least with multiple wide receivers. I don't think you'd mind eventually playing for the Saints, even though they're not a spread team. But they use multiple wide receivers. That's today's football. Tell us some thoughts that you have about looking at offenses into the future.
I just want the coaches to put athletes in space, use speed in space, and I want to be used as mostly a slot receiver, not mostly an outside receiver, but mostly a slot.
Now, Kurt, you're about 6 foot, about 205, 206, something like that. And we were talking before we came on, and you said that you may go to a school that allows you to run track because you're a 10-500 guy. We talked the same thing we talked to the other guys earlier. Why, first with you, why can this team be in the same league with that 2007 and 2008 Destrehan team? Why is this team can be special?
We worked very hard in the off season, and we're looking forward to this season, but we're not looking forward to Acadiana like most people are saying, Avondale, East St. John. We're looking to the next week, the next opponent to go against, and just looking forward to that.
Will, why can this team be special?
I just think that we have a lot of hard workers. We have a lot of, we're senior heavy, so we have a lot of seniors, we have a lot of leaders, a lot of people to get on the young guys, and even the older guys when they need to be, when they need to get on them. And I just think that we're very versatile. We have a lot of athletes, and it's going to be, hard sticking all of us. So I think that's one reason why.
That's right. We have just a few seconds left. Real quick, Will first. A player that you liked when you were growing up?
Well, my favorite running back would be LaDainian Tomlinson. He's one of the reasons why I wear 21. I have other reasons, but that's one of my favorite running backs.
And Kurt, your favorite player growing up?
Growing up, probably Reggie Bush and Percy Harvin.
Some dynamic players,
Yes,
and very good examples as well. Fellas, thank y'all for being here on the first episode this year of Prep Recruiting Insider. Good luck to y'all this year. You have Lutcher on Friday. I'm very familiar with them as well. Get a good look at those faces because you'll see plenty of them during the course of the season. Once again, Prep Recruiting Insider, Rick Gailey here with Renee Nadeau here at NOLA Motorsports Park, here in the kart shed and the kart track. Once again, 640 acres of racing, and we're going to have a big announcement later in the show here on Prep Recruiting Insider. Don't leave. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider. Coach Rick Gailey here, the coach of PRI, along with the Recruiting Insider, Renee Nadeau, and it's our special pleasure to be here with Rondell Mealy. This is the Legend segment of PRI. The Legend segment is sponsored by Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Motor Company, the big store in Kenner. My wife and I have known the Lamarck family for years and years and years, and we trust them. The car she's driving right now, her new Mustang, is bought from Lamarck Ford, know the Lamarck brothers really well. So, Rondell Mealy, we got to run into each other a couple of times way back in the day when I was first at St. James. I started there in '92. That was your sophomore season, I believe. And I was very familiar with your attack at that time because going back to Chip assignment, I spent a lot of time with the Destrehan coaching staff talking about wing T football. And you were the fullback in that particular offense, even though now you've actually grown into a fullback, it looks like. Yeah. Talk about back in the day at Destrehan and what it was like playing for the Fighting Wildcats back then.
Oh, it was a fun experience. The atmosphere was wonderful, great fans, and had some great teammates. We had some good teams back then, except when we played St. James when y'all used to beat us all the time. But other than that, we had some good teams and had great times there.
Yeah, not that while we're on that topic, not that I was going to bring it up, but we played them 5 times, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, and we were fortunate. It was the 5th game of the year every time, and regardless of the circumstance, we happened to win all 5 games at St. James. Even when y'all went to the Dome in 1993, we were the only team until the finals against West Monroe to have some success against y'all. That was strange. I mean, sometimes you just can't explain things in football.
Yep, never understood it. We ran the same offense, the wing T. We could never stop the offense. We used to score up some points, but we just never could stop y'all when we need to.
You went to LSU, 95, you and Kevin Falk, Herb Tyler, Larry Foster, Todd McClure, just a few names. How was the recruiting process for you, Rondell? Why LSU? What other schools did you look really hard at before pulling the trigger on LSU?
I wanted to stay home. I didn't look at a lot of out-of-state schools because I wanted to stay home so my mom could see me play. And I looked real hard at Tulane and LSU at the time, and had a great experience with Coach Sam Nader recruiting me and Michael Haywood. Did a great job, but they ain't had to sell it too much because I wasn't leaving the state, and no matter what, I was going to LSU.
You know, everybody, I'm sure you can't go anywhere without somebody bringing up December 28, 1997, Independence Bowl, LSU Notre Dame. And LSU won 27-9, I think, and you had 34 carries, 233 yards, a pair of touchdowns in the 4th quarter. I guess you never get tired of talking about that night. That was special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a special night, and I got the opportunity because Kevin got hurt in the first quarter, something like that. And I tell everybody all the time I had to find my helmet because I wasn't expecting to play a lot. And I had to get in that mode to go in there and do a great job, and I got the carries, and the rest is history.
And I know what it's like watching your back, because which is what Notre Dame that night did as well. Because I remember so many times you breaking the line of scrimmage, and I was looking at was your back. But during those years at Destrehan, you had a lot of other good players as well. As particularly, I think you had a pretty decent quarterback who ended up playing safety at the next level. Not many people remember that Ed Reed was a wing T quarterback.
Right, and he'd tell you to this day he wasn't a real good quarterback at the time, but he did what he was supposed to do when he was at quarterback and I was at running back. And we had a real good year when we was playing together. And the great thing, he moved on to safety and did some great things at safety. So Ed is a real good friend of mine, and he's doing a great job. And I don't know if he's finished yet, just waiting on retirement papers, but I don't know if he finished playing ball right now.
There's a lot of talk right now at your alma mater, LSU, about so many running backs. You had yourself, Kevin, Cecil Collins. I mean, Tommy Banks was there then, correct?
Right.
And so, how did you guys and there was another running back, I can't remember who it was.
Kendall Cleveland?
Yes, Kendall Cleveland went to the Houston Texans, if I remember. But anyway,
Yep.
But how did you guys get along, and knowing that no one was going to carry the ball excessively, that you were going to share the rock a little bit?
It wasn't hard because Coach put the foundation down the way we was going to run. We always had a meeting before the game. You say Kevin's going to start off. Or if Cecil was there, I knew I wasn't going to get too many carries. So between those two guys, I had to wait my turn. Kevin to get the first two series, and then we'll go from there with the rotation. But I knew I was in for a long day. When Cecil and Kevin was healthy, I knew I wasn't going to get much of a game that game.
But you always found a way to stay prepared, didn't you?
Yeah.
And just didn't take anything for granted. You took great pride in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why the Green Bay Packers ended up drafting you. Mm-hmm. And once again, I passed somewhat cross that Mike Sherman was the Green Bay Packers head coach at that time, and I worked with Mike when he was a young coach. We worked together at Tulane University under Coach Wally English. He was an offensive line coach, and latest worked under Mike Holmgren in the NFL, and you got some taste of the West Coast offense at Green Bay. Tell me something about Mike Sherman I didn't know before.
Oh, he was a good guy, man. He'll get on you when need be. I remember one time a rookie year, I messed around and missed a meeting. It was late for a meeting, and he got on me bad in front of everybody, embarrassed me. And I just knew that day that I can't be late for a meeting again. But he was a fair guy, and he helped me a lot, and I had a great time playing for him.
Now, in the last minute or so, you know, you scored 4 touchdowns against New Mexico State, I know, in one game. Mm-hmm. You wound up leaving LSU with 29 total scores and almost averaging 5 yards a carry. What's the best thing that you recall about your LSU days? Because you left your mark there, Rondell.
Best days is playing with the guys, with Kevin and Herb and all. We had a great time, man. I know that the last 2 years at LSU wasn't great for us, but we all had a great time with each other and put it all out on the field when we was out there. So with the fans and the people that I played with, I had a real good time, and I wouldn't change nothing for the world. I'd go back to LSU right now.
Well, once again, thank you so much for being here, Rondell. It's great to see the front of you for a change instead of the back of your jersey running away from me. True legend of the game, Lonnie Lamar. So kind of him to sponsor this particular segment. The big store in Kenner, and we're out here at the big racetrack at NOLA Motorsports Complex here in Avondale. Have a huge event center. They're going to have a special occasion. Big announcement coming up this afternoon. We will be right back after this brief timeout. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. I'm Coach Rick Ailey here with our insider, Renee Nato. We're here at NOLA Motorsports Park with a big event center. It's just such a great facility here for any one of your recreational or even things like weddings. All your particular needs. What a great facility we have here. And we're very pleased to have Kristen Angeron here. She showed up on our show at the very end of last year and started to leak out a special announcement, but today is officially the day that you get to make the big announcement, don't you, Kristen?
Yes, so today we are announcing that the first inaugural Indy Grand Prix of Louisiana will be here April 10th through the 12th of next spring. And it's a 3-year commitment. It's an IndyCar race. So for folks watching at home, it's not NASCAR. IndyCar these are the same cars that run at the Indianapolis 500. So we are thrilled for the first time to bring this to the state of Louisiana.
Great. We're talking about open wheel racing.
Open wheel, fast racing. So you're going to look at speeds in excess of 180 miles an hour.
And we have a special guest next to you.
Yes, so we have partnered with Andretti Sports Marketing to handle the logistics for the race. And we have hired Tim Ramsberger, who will be the GM for the Grand Prix. Tim's expertise has been the last 10 years. He's run the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. He also ran the World Cup in Dallas and the Olympics in Atlanta. So we are more than thrilled to have Tim.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Kristen, first of all, I don't think people around here, they have nothing to compare it with. What kind of impact and how big an event, you know, they know Super Bowls and Final Fours, how big an event is this going to be? And I'd like to get Tim's impact as well.
Go ahead. So I won't steal your thunder on this quote. But our initial estimates are about 80,000 people over a 4-day event. So to give you an idea, people who come out for the Zurich Classic out at TPC, which is our neighbors, we're talking about attracting about 3 to 4 times the amount of people that come out for that. And it's about $100 million economic impact over 3 years that we have the commitment from IndyCar to do the race. That's just the direct impact that we have. So it's going to be a huge race. I'll let Tim kind of speak to, from a racing standpoint, how big it is for IndyCar.
This will be a very important race for IndyCar. This track, this facility is phenomenal. The drivers are going to love being here. The track itself has a number of passing zones that afford great racing opportunities, and that's what the drivers look for in a track, and that's what IndyCar looked for when they came here, and that's what these improvements that you're seeing taking place today will result in. And as Kristen mentioned, it's going to be not only impactful for the region, but I think we're going to draw nationally and internationally, because I think it's a destination that is developing here. When people come here and experience it, see it on live national TV, that whether we're ABC or NBC will be determined later on in the year, but this will be a live national broadcast. So beyond all sorts of direct economic impact, just the exposure for this park, the community here, tremendous.
And to find out exactly where NOLA Motorsports is, go to nolamotor.com. They even have a Google map there to give you the exact location, easy to get to.
Tim, I want to ask you, this is a great area for what we're talking about for the event coming in the spring. What is the closest competition for this? And I mean, this is going to be a great event for anybody within miles to come to.
Very unique opportunity here to host an IndyCar race in Jefferson Parish. There's only 17 races on the schedule. The closest one to our venue here would be in Barber in Alabama, and that'll be run sometime in the spring as well. But you know, if you really want to see IndyCar at its best, you come down here, and it's going to be tremendous. We had our graphic up earlier on the website. It's gpofnola.com. We're going to be announcing tickets going on sale in early November. And anybody that's interested in becoming a volunteer, if you're a vendor, service provider, visit our website. We've got information there that you can fill out a form application and come participate in this world-class event.
Well, today's a big announcement of the Grand Prix of Louisiana. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you, Kristen, for having us here. Thank you, Tim, for working so strongly with us. This is going to be an absolutely incredible event.
Thank you.
So we're here once again at NOLA Motorsports, nolamotor.com, to get the exact location and all the great things that they have here for your enjoyment. Just a magnificent structure here. We'll be back for the final segment in just a moment. Welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider, PRI. Rick Galey here with Renee Nadeau at NOLA Motorsports Park. NOLAmotor.com is the website for the facility. and you get to see all of the great things that they offer here, and it's our pleasure to be here. Well, Renee, Jamboree Week. We're doing the West Bank Optimist Jamboree on WGSO. Ken Trahan and I will be covering that Friday. And there's also the Brothers of the Sacred Heart Jamboree, sportsnola.com live streaming on Friday night as well. What do you have planned for yourself this weekend?
Well, yeah, I got some things going next week with games with Fox and ESPN and all, but I tell you what, the thing is, if you haven't seen a high school game in a while, I invite you to go out and see it. We're going to have the best recruits on for the next few weeks. Next week's going to be Hahnville, followed by Warren Easton. And when the season kicked off in the NFL, there were over 50 players from the New Orleans area on NFL rosters. You're missing a lot of talent. Go catch a high school game.
And thank all of you for being here this evening. Year 3, Episode 1, Prep Recruiting Insider. And we will see you next week, the best of recruiting in Louisiana, PRI.